And as we're walking this way, you hear coming from this way, you hear boom, 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 and then it stops right at this tree. Yeah. It's like 3 big, heavy footfalls. Probably more than 3, but that's just for some reason what I remember. And he's looking at it, and he's like, I see it, I see it. I'm like, okay, what are you looking at, you know? And he goes, oh, it's a coon. And then he says, oh, it's 2 coons, because now at this point it's sticking out of both sides of the tree, but there's like a scrubbing kind of going on, right? And so it kind of sounds like there's coons there. And then he remembers thinking he kicked a palmetto or something when he stepped forward, but he moved, and this thing shoots across this gap, this 9.5 foot gap. It takes it in like 1 1/4 steps. Oh. It's just like bam and over. And he turns and he freaks out and he's running. He's like, get your gun, get your gun. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And he's like, man, it was big. It's looking at us, and the camera, it's dead.
All right, so I didn't get to record the intro, so I want to throw an intro in there real quick. This is the Stacy Brown interview. One of my favorites. So let's get to it.
Okay, so it was May 8th, 2012, and my dad had just gotten over bladder cancer, and he was able to get back out and stuff, and I had already seen a Bigfoot at this point, and I was like, as soon as I had my sighting, I was like balls to the wall. I was in the woods like 3-4 days a week, honestly, you know. And so my dad was like, hey, you want to go Bigfooting tonight? And at the time, I was riding to work with somebody else. And I told my dad, I was like, hey, we'll go by my house and get my backpack and just come out here and pick me up, and we'll ride to the state park. No. And he came and got me, and we went. And now it had been raining all day, but it wasn't like a pour down. It was just a little bit of rain, you know, enough to make all the damn ground wet. So we get out there, we walk down 1.5 miles to the campground, and we're camping. We're cooking some ribs, and I got like some White Zombie and stuff playing. And because I believe, I can't remember, but I want to say that I toted a damn boom box down there. This was really before you could just take a Bluetooth speaker. Yeah, this is 2012. But I had toted a boom box down there with like a CD player in it. Gotcha. And so we were doing all that, and we heard a knock. And I told my dad, I was like, yo, you know, hey, that might be them, you know. And he's like, it's just the wind blowing the trees together. I was like, fair enough. And then we heard a second one. Then we heard a third one. Then we heard a fourth one. And I told my dad, I was like, bro, I think they're here. And he goes, well, hey, I was like, we need to get out there and see if we can see one. And he didn't really believe. He was just there to hang out. You know what I mean? Yeah. He believed me, but he didn't think that any of us would ever have an encounter again, right? So soon as he says that, he says, if we hear another one, we'll go look for him. As soon as that last word leaves his lips, you hear a, it was like a grunt and a knock. Okay. And so his eyes got big, and I was like, that's him, you know? And he goes, okay, go and turn the radio up as loud as you can turn it up. And so I go over there and I crank it up. No. And at this time of year, the palmettos in that campground were above our head, right? Okay. especially walking down that trail. And the cicadas were super loud. They're just like, rah, 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 rah. And so we go lights out. He's got a headlamp in his fist. He's just got his fingers kind of like this, so some light can come out, but not much, but it's a red light. Okay. And he's pointing it at the ground, and he switches it to black hot because it made the ground look like snow. The ground was completely white, and we're looking for snakes. Didn't want to step on a snake out there, right?
Gotcha.
Because, if you get bit by a snake, a poisonous snake, yeah, they got anti-venom and shit, but your body may react bad, right, and it could kill you dead within like 30 minutes. You go into shock or something like that.
Copy.
So it's not something you want. And we're walking. Now he's got the thermal and I got the handy cam rolling. And we're walking, and we're hearing, as we're walking, we're hearing like boom, 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 boom. It sounds like something's running all around us, right? Like multiple things are running. And we hear, or Dad hears something down this ridge, so he makes a left, and he thinks he's on the blue trail, but he's actually on a game trail. And as we're walking this way, you hear coming from this way, you hear boom, 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 and then it stops right at this tree. Yeah. It's like 3 big, heavy footfalls. Probably more than 3, but that's just for some reason what I remember. And he's looking at it, and he's like, I see it. I'm like, okay, what are you looking at, And he goes, oh, it's a coon. And then he says, it's 2 coons, because now at this point it's sticking out of both sides of the tree, but there's like a scrubbing kind of going on, right? And so it kind of sounds like there's coons there. And then he remembers thinking he kicked a palmetto or something when he stepped forward, but he moved. And this thing shoots across this gap, this 9.5 foot gap. It takes it in like 1 1/4 steps.
Oh.
It's just like bam and over. And he turns and he freaks out and he's running. He's like, get your gun. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And he's like, man, it was big. It's looking at us, and the camera, it's dead. And dude, we had just put brand new batteries in that fucking camera.
No, so you just got it before it died?
Yeah. And the only reason we got it is because he was hooked to an external recorder that did not go dead.
Oh, shit.
But the camera definitely shot out. And so he's freaking out. He's talking about, we're blind. It's looking at us, and I can't see it because all we have for flashlights were these little dinky headlamps. They weren't that good. And we get back to the camp. We tear everything down. And as we're walking out, we got a 1.5 mile walk. As we're walking, we're hearing stuff on the right of us and stuff on the left. And it's like, it's still following us. Okay. And we get to the top of the hill where the Boy Scout camp is. And that's when all of it stops. We go to the truck and I replay the footage. And I'm like, bro, why didn't you tell me that this is what we're here for? And he's like, you could take the camera and go down there yourself, you smart ass. He's like, you can have at it. I'll sit right here in the truck. And I didn't want no part of that. So we left, and it was a week or so before we really got to talk about it. Sit down and talk about it, and my dad was accusing me of having somebody out there butt naked in the woods at midnight on a Tuesday with no flashlight running through those woods. And I was like, think about what you're saying. Like, think about that, what you just said.
How old were you?
I was probably like 27. You know, well,
Gotcha.
2012. I'm 42 now. I'm
Yeah,
probably about 30.
gotcha.
And you know, he flipped out. He went from skeptic to believer right then. And you know, we sent the footage out to 5 people. Cliff Barackman decided to do the investigation. And if you get a chance to go to his website, cliffbarackman.com,
Okay.
you can find his report on it. And his report,
Okay.
his report with the footage, it's pretty good, you know, because he has the numbers. He knows how wide the tree was. He knows how wide the gap was. He knows how far away we were.
Okay.
And he had the footage sent to FLIR, and their thermographers looked at it. He had like CGI guys look at it, and they were all like, "That's a real animal. That's a real thing there." So that was that, man. You know, but it was wild. I tell people it was like, you know, in hindsight, it's like winning the Super Bowl with your best friend.
Uh,
You know,
it's honestly one of my favorite footage when it comes to that. And especially watching you two, I feel like I can read people good, and I just feel like you're a solid guy, and I don't see the lies. I don't see any lies in it.
right. But if you haven't read the report, like don't take the word from me. Don't take it from the footage. Read the report. The report is so, I don't understand why it can't be used as definitive evidence of an unknown creature. Because
Right.
science always talks about we need the math, you know what I mean? We need numbers, we need the science, and we have it all. Like,
Yeah.
you can go and recreate it if you can, because you got to
Right.
be 60 feet away. I don't know if he knows like the grade of the hill. I don't know if that's in the report, but you know the gap that it crossed, and you know the camera we were using, and you know the size of the tree. So now that you have all that,
Right.
you can recreate it. If you can recreate it, but you can at least try and
Right.
know that, okay, the tree's 27 inches wide. It's sticking out at least 2 to 3 inches on both sides. Right, so you're putting the shoulder width somewhere around 34 to 35 inches.
Right.
That's a big ass. That's a big ass creature.
That's a fact.
You know, and then you have one solid heat signature. It's not clothes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No costume.
No, because a costume, like I've got footage of us in a costume,
No.
and you can tell that we're wearing a costume. And
Yeah,
it was just for that. People are like, "Oh, it's a costume." And it's like you see all the heat from under the arms and between the legs, and you know where you get really hot around the neck and stuff like that. And what you see in that footage is a uniform creature.
No.
So, but yeah, it was amazing, man. And unfortunately, we haven't been able to get anything like that again.
No.
But we're still trying, you know. So hopefully,
Yeah.
one of these days.
No fact. Do you ever travel anywhere up north at all, or do you usually stay
Yeah,
down there?
no, I've for the most part I'm down here, you know, but
Yeah.
I do get out. The Bridgewater Triangle is one of my favorite places to go to.
What's that in Mass?
Yep. So like Freetown State Forest,
Okay.
love that place. Um, you know, the Jersey Pine Barrens.
Yeah.
I
I've
spent
always
some,
wanted to go there.
brother. That place is special. Like
Yeah.
there's certain woods that you get in, and you're just like, oh wow, this is. You get a certain feeling off of it, and
Uh,
the Pine Barrens is definitely that place.
I'm right in upstate New York, so Mass, Jersey, all those. I could, if you're ever up here, I would love to meet up with you.
Hell yeah, bro. I know the Pine Barrens, or not the Pine Barrens, but the Bridgewater Triangle. There's so much stuff you can get into there, whether you're going to like Hockomock Swamp or, like I said,
that's
the
another
free,
place I want to go.
yeah, or like the Freetown State Forest. You could do so much there because within the Bridgewater Triangle, there's all these haunted houses.
Okay.
There's all these weird like Native American stuff. Bigfoot. You've got big serpents, UFOs, little people. You know, the puckwudgies and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, next time I'm up that way, because I will be back that way again. You know, the Bridgewater Triangle is just too. It's like a magnet, and it's just pulling me to it. You know what I mean? So I haven't been in about 3 years, I guess, but there for a while I was going like every 6 months.
Nah, no shit.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But yeah, if you have work in the morning, I would, if you still would like to do it Friday.
Yeah, hey, for sure, man. Let's if you want to, we'll get up Friday. I'll hit you up. Like I said, I got my show airs Friday night at 8, and I'll be in the comments till that's over with. But once that's over with, I'll just shoot you a text. I got your number now. I'll shoot you a text, and we could jump on.
Okay.
Well, right on, brother.
No, it was good to have you, Stacy Brown.
Yeah, brother. Hey, no problem, man.
One of my favorites.
We'll get this sorted out, and we'll get it done, bro.
No, definitely. I'm with it.
All right, brother. Have a good night, man.
All right, bro. You too.
Later.